This is Jam It by Throwback Games. I picked it up several months ago in cartridge format from rgcd.com. I believe as of just this week it's back in stock for purchase. I received it at about the same time I received the Fantasy Art of Oliver Fry book. The artwork on the box, manual, and poster is from Oliver Fry. This is what you get with the deluxe packaging, the box, cartridge, manual, and poster. The game supports both NTSC and PAL versions, but the manual states the NTSC version runs fractionally faster and is therefore slightly more difficult than the PAL version, and as such is labeled NTSC compatible but designed for PAL. I'll cover the review first, then towards the end of the video I'll show the gameplay of one complete game in the hardest difficulty, Brutal Mode. Jam It is a cartridge version of the arcade-style 2-on-2 basketball game for the Commodore 64. I love seeing new homebrew-style games being developed and released on cartridge. As with most cartridge games, it starts up right away. As soon as you power on your Commodore 64, the title music starts. You are then presented with a title screen menu which allows you to select the game difficulty, view the instructions, the game credits, or start a new game. There is a really nice silhouetted animation of a player flying through the air, ball in hand in the background. If you choose so, there's an option for CPU demo, which will play a game of CPU only 2-on-2 basketball. Before starting a game versus the CPU, I would recommend selecting the desired game difficulty first. Although not entirely obvious, the easiest difficulty is called Hopeless. To me, this could have also been used to describe the most difficult setting. In Hopeless, the defenders will not steal or block your shots, so this is definitely the one to use if you're a beginner. The difficulty steps up from there with the settings Easy, Medium, and Brutal. Since this is a 2-on-2 basketball game, it makes sense that up to 4 players can play simultaneously. That is, of course, if you happen to have a Protovision 4-player interface adapter. If not, oh well, you and your friends can play 2-on-2 against the computer, or you can play all by yourself, where you decide if you control both your players or if there will be a computer-controlled teammate. All of these options are quite fun. I really like how the game allows you to select your players and the team you play on by moving the joystick left or right and then pressing the button. Oh, and when you're controlling both players, you're really only controlling one player at a time, but while you control player 1, player 2 is still automatically defending, in case you were wondering. The team names in Jam It are the Jammers and the Slammers. The player names are also pretty clever. For the Jammers it's Jimmy Jam and Don Dunk, and for the Slammers it's Sam Slam and Dr. Trey. I usually try to pick a favorite on each team and use only that player. The gameplay is also fairly simple. With just one button, your control stick is enough to make extreme dunks, jump shots, blocks, passes, post-up plays, and steals. The player you control has a flashing jersey. The game is divided into 2 3.5-minute halves. This may not seem like very long, but trust me, it's just the right amount of time to play a fun game. Once you've mastered the game, you would be surprised just how many times you can score in 1 minute. The shot clock is also reduced down to 15 seconds, down from the normal 24. There's a neat little random in-screen commentary that pops up at the bottom of the screen at various times during gameplay with snide remarks like, "Flaming exquisite play," and "Wow, just sublime." The game is played half-court with the basket oriented toward the top of the screen. On the right-hand side, some statistics are displayed such as fouls, rebounds, steals, blocks, etc. Since space is limited, the display alternates between the various stats. When there's a change in possession, you'll notice a mid-court color change. If this color matches your team's color, you have to clear the ball all the way down to the half-court line. Doing so will clear the color and allow you to score. For some reason, this threw me off at first. I was thinking the 3-point line was where it would be cleared. If you don't clear the ball before scoring, the other team will be awarded the points. Pressing run, stop, or restore will reset the game, returning you back to the title screen menu. Highlight shot mode. Each team starts with 3 highlight shots per game. To activate a highlight shot, press down on the joystick 2 times. The ball will start flashing. The next shot taken will be in slow motion. Release the button at the peak of your jump for the best chance at making the basket. No fouls are called when highlight shot mode is activated. Again, the manual drops a tip to use the highlight shot on 3-point shots as a way to get back into the game or for buzzer beaters. I noticed the computer AI will frequently do this on buzzer beaters. Also, during highlight mode, camera flashes will be visible from the audience. Doubles. When a player reaches double digits in just about any stat, that is considered a double. For example, 10 points, rebounds, assists, steals, or block shots. Each time a double is reached, the player is awarded with full energy and a highlight shot. Combining doubles from various categories are called double-double, triple-double, quadruple-double, and quintuple-double. Player energy. The player who is moving with the ball is also losing energy. Attempting to steal or block takes energy. These two tasks nearly amount to saying playing the game costs you energy. But really, if you pass the ball and stand still, your energy will rebound. There are 3 additional ways to regain energy: pressing the button during the halftime show, dunking with a highlight shot activated, and scoring a double also restores your energy. Paraphrasing the controls from the manual for offense. To pass the ball, quickly press the button 2 times. To shoot, press the button once and release at the peak of your jump. In order to dunk, your player must jump above the rim and then release the button. To post up, press the button once. The player will keep their back permanently to the basket. Tap the fire button again to deactivate post. Free throws. I have found it is much easier to send someone to the foul line than for them to send you there. Shooting a free throw takes some practice. What you need to do is hold the fire button and then release when the backboard flashes green. Be prepared because it only stays green for a split second. Pressing the button after scoring will initiate a replay. I didn't realize this at first and I thought, wow, there sure are a lot of replays in this game. Also, pressing the button during a replay will end the replay, taking you back to the game. On the defensive side, to steal the ball, you must be in close contact with the ball, then press the button once. The ball can be stolen when in the player's possession or when it's being passed. I find that when attempting this, I have the most luck when the opposing player is facing my player. You have to be careful because trying this too often will result in a hacking foul. You are granted 5 team fouls per period. Starting with the 5th foul, 2 free throws will be awarded to the opponent. Block shot. When your opponent is shooting the ball, press the button once. Your player will jump for an attempted block. Defensive switch. If you are playing a game and controlling both players with one joystick, then you may switch players by quickly pressing the button 2 times. Unlockables. The difficulties Easy, Medium, and Brutal all have bonus unlockables, which can be unlocked by beating an all CPU-controlled team. The manual lists this as a hint. To perform the action unlock on Easy, do a dunk in highlight shot mode and do not start a replay. Having not been able to unlock the unlockables in all modes, I searched the internet to try to find out what is actually unlocked. I came across these comments on the CSDB website, submitted by JazzCat on the 3rd of March 2016. Unique silhouettes in intro of player dunking and cheerleader. The unlockable in Brutal difficulty is 2 new dunk sprite poses. The unlockable in Easy difficulty is a janitor who cleans the floor after a backboard breaking dunk. This is replaced by a cameo of a well-known Alf character. One of the nice features of the game is the halftime show. When halftime starts, the players clear the floor and the cheerleaders enter in and perform for the audience. The player who has the leading score can control the cheerleader choreography with joystick movements. Also, after the halftime show, you can take a moment to view all the player statistics. When the game ends, or as the game calls it, full-time game over, the winning team is awarded with a cool trophy ceremony. The MVP is announced and gets to hoist the trophy over his head, and the cheerleaders dance for a few seconds before the final stats are displayed. Let's take a quick moment to go over all of the stats displayed on the screen. On the statistics page, what you'll see is the team names next to their team jersey colors, red for Jammers and blue for Slammers. And what we have on the columns going across are the points. And then this looks like 06, but it's OG. OG means own goal, and what that means is the number of times you've scored for your opponent. FGM is field goals made. FGA is field goals attempted. FG% is your field goal percentage, basically your shot percentage. Going down to the next column or the row, 3PM is 3-pointers made, 3PA are 3-pointers attempted. 3-point percentage is your percentage of your 3-pointers made. FTM is your free throws made, FTA are your free throws attempted, and FT% is your free throw percentage. And down on the last row here, steals is the first column, blocks, assists, rebounds, and that looks like toy, but it's TOV and it stands for turnovers. And then FLS, this one threw me for a loop, it stands for fouls, so it's how many fouls each of your players have. Now I'm going to discuss a few of my strategies. Defense. Always stay close to your opponent, and once in a while press the button to attempt a steal or block. Careful, doing this too often will result in a hacking foul. Offense. Learn how to make your free throws, you cannot afford not to. Depending on the difficulty you are playing, try fading away with a jump shot. There is less chance of being blocked and you are often rewarded with a made shot. Remember, you have a second player, pass the ball around to mix things up. If the clock is running down and you have the lead, run the shot clock down by not attempting a field goal. Observations. The game pace is fast, so fast in fact when all 4 players are bunched up and you're on defense. I've had this happen several times. You can get a quick steal and not even know it, then pressing the button causes a shot attempt, giving the other team 2 points and earning you an OG, or own goal stat. Disappointments. The halves are divided into 2 3.5 minute time periods, which is not configurable. It would have been nice to have more player choices to choose from with different names and body types and skills. Players always start each play in the same positions offensively and defensively, with offensive player 1 located in the bottom center and offensive player 2 left middle. After a while, I really wanted the ability to change that up to the other side. I know this is probably asking a lot, but I would have liked the ability to change stadium skins or locations. That would have been a really nice feature. Playing the game in brutal mode really makes you want to say "jam it" a lot out loud. But seriously, brutal mode is just that. Having said that, it's not impossible to beat, you just have to keep the play tight. The graphics in the game are pretty good given the constraints of the system. I mean, there could have been a more detailed audience if I was to nitpick. The basketball has a shadow and you can make out the players' uniforms. There is also a nice effect when dunking where the whole screen shakes. The sounds are fairly basic but get the job done. There's a nice sound for hacking, scoring, ball going through the net, the ball bouncing. There's a song that plays when you power on the game, and a different one at halftime. There's a highlight mode sound, a sound for a foul, sound for the crowd cheering. In the game's trailer, there's a different sound for missing a free throw, like "oh," which is not present in the actual game. I was unable to find any world records for Jam It. This would have been a bit tricky. I guess you could break it out a few different ways, NTSC versus PAL, like the highest winning score against CPU on Brutal, or holding CPU opponents to the lowest score on Brutal while winning. Overall, Jam It is a really fun game. It can be had for as little as $2.99 for the digital download. The complete inbox cartridge is currently available for purchase at rgcd.com. Cytronic is also selling the game on diskette or cassette tape if you prefer. The AI in the game makes for a really smart and fun opponent. There are 4 difficulty settings you can navigate through as your skill improves. All of the multiplayer options mixed in with the CPU options really add a lot of replay value. While playing this, I can't help comparing it to One on One, another great basketball release for the Commodore 64. The simplicity of design, unlockables, multiplayer, varying degrees of difficulty, in-game commentary, rich statistics all combine to make a great game. I highly recommend it.